Welcome to a shot of Business Central as we drink our beer. Before we get into some of the news and updates related to Business Central and the community, we would like to issue a public service announcement of sorts for any users of Dynamics NAV or Business Central on-premise. A little bit a while ago, relatively recently, Microsoft became aware of a security vulnerability with on-premise installations, where they disclosed this, where an attacker has the ability to execute code on the host server, basically the service tier that's running, the service tier that's installed on the server. It's basically an quote, insufficient validation of user-supplied inputs. So Microsoft has basically gone out and created a new platform update for every version of NAV through Business Central, from NAV 2013 R2, where they created this new service tier technology, through NAV 2018, and also Business Central version 14 through 21 on-premise. So there's a new cumulative update available. Microsoft strongly recommends that everyone complete a platform update. It doesn't mean you have to update your whole database to these new executables, but you don't need to update your whole database, right? You don't need to upgrade to a new version.
Yeah, just a hot fix, basically.
Apply these hot fixes to your executables so that you're on the latest cumulative update for your application tier.
And if you need help with it, how do people get help?
Well, I mean,
we get to plug ourselves finally.
I'm sure we're not the only ones out there who's, were caught a little bit off guard, and this was a little bit unexpected. But, if you're running, we have completed many updates for our customers. And you ask a good question, as we're preparing. It's like, well, I've been running NAV 2013 or 2016 or 2018 for years, and we've been fine. Why do I really need to do this?
Yeah.
And I think the answer is you should, yes, because it's possible that someone just recently discovered this vulnerability, and then published something on the dark web or somewhere, and now word is out that these systems can be hacked, and there is this way to get in and create havoc. So I think, and again, it's not something that typically is going to take weeks and weeks to get done. No. It may take a couple days. You may want to apply these to your test environments first, make sure everything's still running smoothly and everything, and then deploy it over a weekend or something. So there may be a little bit of
different for every customer
disruption for you, or you weren't expecting this, but you really should in order to make sure that you're protected.
Yeah, reach out to us at itsupport@solstice.com if you need help.
What do we got for Business Central, looking on a more upbeat and forward-looking?
All right. So recently, Business Central 21.4 update for 2022 R2 was released. And, really not too much, just one major feature change called Reuse Launch Configurations across workspace projects. So I'll read you a little bit what it says, because this is more development and out of my area of expertise. It says, with Business Central version 21.1, you can add a launch property to a code workspace or in the settings.json file. This allows for a centralized configuration of projects. A local launch.json file overrides the workspace and global configuration. What it means, I don't know. Any idea?
I think it's just a way to quickly deploy multiple environments more quickly, so you don't have to redo everything every time you deploy an environment. I'm not sure if it's really applicable for an end user or not. Maybe if you have like 100 different environments right? Independent environments at franchises or something, and they're all running separately, and you want to kind of redeploy a Business Central tenant to each one.
All right. I can go with that. That sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
And then we got, sorry, do you want to say something?
Yeah, a couple other updates too.
Go for it.
Well, the ability to restore deleted environments. So
these though aren't applicable. Whatever.
Easy for you to say.
Easy for me to say. Yeah, these aren't specific to update 21.4, right? These are happening regardless of whether or not your environment is updated. So if you have 21.3 or whatever other version, these are still going to be installed.
Because they're kind of part of the administration center and service base. Yeah. Okay. But if you're on BC Online, I mean, I guess technically you could still be on 21.3.
Yeah, you might get this update before you get the actual 21.4 update.
Right.
But
minor technicality.
I think,
right? Because hopefully most people's environments you're updating on a monthly basis. As each monthly update comes out, typically most environments get updated.
How long, do you know how long you can wait to push up? Is it 90 days?
There is a limit. Now, I think it was, and I'm not sure if it's the monthly updates or the major ones, but I think it was at 6 months or 12 months
6 months, okay.
that they recently came out with a document.
Right.
Where they actually spelled out explicitly what are the limitations for how long you can defer your environment update. Yeah. Because I think they were having people that were just continuing to defer the rollout of their updates. And it just makes it much more difficult for Microsoft to support all those different flavors.
Yeah.
So.
All right. You want to hit service releases? Or you want me to take it?
No, go for it.
All right. So the first one is getting more visibility into service interruptions. And basically this is Microsoft is going to be more proactive about informing you of service interruptions. You'll now see like an incident details pop-up message or whatever when logging in, it'll be a separate web page that'll show you the incident details if you're not able to log in. Next up, they're calling it Get Better Communications as an admin. And this is where admins are going to receive more communications whenever Microsoft identifies issues affecting environments that require action. So for example, an extension is installed on your environment, but it's degrading performance. Microsoft will let you know. Or if your environment is using features that are going to be deprecated, Microsoft will once again let you know. Things like that. So now the thing with this is, though, the notification is going to be posted in the Microsoft 365 Message Center. I'm not a big fan of that because
no one goes there.
Exactly, right? So I think they should be shown in Business Central, but... And then another one is restore deleted environments, which Ken talked about earlier. So now when you delete an environment, it's going to go into a state of what Microsoft is calling soft delete for 7 days. And during this 7 days, admins can then restore a deleted environment. I'd like to see that 7 days bumped up a little bit more because 7 days goes by pretty quick. And then you can also restore environments to a point in time. Any point in time within the past 28 days, even after an update.
Yeah, and that's what's new here, is that I think there was a limitation on that. If the environment had been updated, you couldn't roll back to the previous update.
Right.
Now you can.
Which is really good. And then lastly, they're calling it a restrict traffic on system integrations with service tags. So service tags support secure integration scenarios where there's a limited number of service tags allowed for incoming traffic. So basically, a service tag represents a group of IP addresses, and you can kind of monitor and limit those people to having service to certain things. Not bad. And that's it for 21.4, unless you got anything else there, Ken?
The only update is kind of related, not related directly to a update here, but recently for a specific reason, we're out there looking at there is a web page or a link out there in Microsoft Learn for Business Central that lists out all of the, I'm going to call it, I forget what they call it, like limitations on certain volumes and file sizes and things like that. So we were looking specifically at like how often could you make certain calls, or what's the maximum number of rows on a page. And what we found was, for example, if you have, let's say you have 1 million posted sales invoices, and you've got 100 fields on your invoice list page, and you try to use the search button up on the top, you will probably get a message that says, this search is going to take too long.
Really?
Please try to use filters or whatever. And what it is there's some embedded logic in there that looks at maximum length of a search. So if it's over 5 seconds, it realizes this could be bad.
Yeah.
So it kind of cancels it for you. Or if maybe a file size is too big to upload, right? I think 350 meg, if you're trying to upload a file, is the largest size. So what Microsoft has done, and at first you look at that and go, well, why are there all these limitations in place? The reason is because it stops people from doing stupid stuff, which will degrade the performance of the system.
Freeze
right?
it up and whatnot.
So there's all kind, whether it's a web service call frequency or upload file size or what type of search you're doing, they're proactively kind of putting guardrails around things that people could be doing in Business Central to ensure that the performance of the environment stays high for all the users of the system.
Now, when let's say you want to run that search, and you get that error message that says add filters or whatever. Can you override that?
The easiest way to resolve that, for example, on that specific one is just show your filter pane and do a filter.
Yeah.
Instead of using the search button up top. If you use the filter, you're
fine.
So, or reduce the number of columns you have displayed on your list page, right? Do you really? Because when you do a search on a list page, it searches across every column of data on the page. So, right, you do a search for the number 100.
Yeah.
It's looking at the customer number, the customer name, the contact, the phone number, the posting group, right? Whatever those columns are. That can take a long time if you've got 1 million posted sales invoices out there, right? So you're maybe better off doing a more focused filter on a specific field.
I mean, that all makes sense to me. It sounds like it's like good ideas. I mean, it might upset some users at first, just because it's an extra step or two.
Yeah.
But
well, overall though, you have to. I mean, you have to have an appreciation for the fact that these are things that didn't exist in on-premise versions or older versions. That all that would result in a lot of user dissatisfaction,
right?
Because all of a sudden the system is slow as heck.
Yeah, it freezes.
What's
you can't do
going
anything
on?
right. Yeah.
Hey, what's happening? The system's slow. I can't do my job. Well, the frequency of those types of things happening has dropped substantially.
Yeah, it's minimal now.
Yeah, because of these guardrails, I'll call them, that Microsoft's put in bumpers, or what do you call it? Yeah. When you're bowling, bumper.
Oh yeah, for the kids, you mean?
Yeah.
Bumper guards, whatever.
If you go bowling,
yeah.
They put the little things.
The things they put
in
the bumper guards or whatever. Yeah, gutter
so
guards.
It kind of keeps everything rolling straight.
It's a good analogy, but it's also bad. Make us all feel like
It's
kids
for
over
your
here.
own good.
Yeah,
it's for your own good. Shut up and take it.
Oh, too funny. All right, what else we got here to talk about? DynamicsCon, which are you presenting at DynamicsCon?
Yes, I am. Yeah, we're talking about service, the different types, the different ways that you can record service activities, whether in Business Central or potentially out of Business Central.
Are you co-hosting with somebody else, or is this by yourself?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I've got flying solo on that one, and then there's also
it's in May, right? Sorry.
Yep, May 22nd. That's in Phoenix. Also, if you are a Dynamics NAV or Business Central partner, there is a Directions Partner Conference April 16th through the 19th in Orlando. And then also the User Community Summit, I believe, is in October in Charlotte. So
nice.
Some fun destinations. Everyone's, I think, used to going. Well, maybe everyone's used to going to Orlando. That's probably for sure.
Yeah.
But Phoenix would be nice. Be a little bit warm, but not too warm at the end of May. And then Charlotte in October should be beautiful.
That's different, I think, right?
Yeah, that's a
unique venue.
I think the first Dynamics conference of recent vintage that's been held in Charlotte, at least.
Nice.
At least for Business Central related folk. Yep. So.
All right. Now we get to talk about the new Bridge to Cloud promo. Have you heard about it? Sure you have.
let's explain. So what is the Bridge to the Cloud promo? So obviously Microsoft is trying to encourage people that are running on-premise versions of NAV and Business Central to move to Business Central Online.
Encourage is a kind word.
Yeah, well, yeah. and there's benefits, right? There's benefits too, but it's a lot of work, right? And a lot of effort, But anyways, so what they've done is that they know companies have been paying the annual enhancement plan for years, like 10, 20 years in many cases, and now they're looking at going to Business Central Online, and now it's named user and it's subscription based. Yeah. So how do you put those two things together and go, well, you've been paying enhancement plan for all this time, and so you deserve something if you move to the cloud. So that is the Bridge to the Cloud promo. And I don't know exactly. I'm assuming it relates to GP clients, NAV clients, SL, even F&O, right, to get them online. And in a nutshell, what it means is if you are planning on moving to Business Central Online.
Keywords.
Planning on, right.
If you're planning on moving to BC,
you can, instead of renewing your enhancement plan like you usually do, you can sign up for this promo. And when you sign up through the promo, you will effectively be purchasing Business Central Online licenses at a 40% discount.
Yep.
For each named user. Now you have to buy enough users on Business Central Online so that your annual payment stays the same or is higher. But you lock in that 40% discount for a 3-year period.
Right.
So this is to help you transition into the...
plus what's nice is, like you said, you're taking your yearly enhancement plan and you're splitting it up in 12-month payments.
Correct.
So you don't have to pay it all at once.
Yep.
But you do get locked in for 3 years. So
it is it's a 3-year commitment.
Yeah, there's no going back. You can't say after 1 year I don't want to do this because it's a 3-year commitment.
Yeah. So there's some fine print, definitely you want to be sure you're aware of on there. But if you're sitting there today and you're in Business Central on premise or NAV on premise and you're looking to go to BC Online within the next 3 years, definitely want to take advantage of this promo.
Absolutely. So
that you can leverage the enhancement plan you've been paying to make sure that you get a 40% discount.
Yeah.
For 3 years.
Absolutely.